Hey everyone, this is Sam with Bartos Builds, and I am so excited to show you guys this project come into life. This is a NASCAR inspired piece made for my dad, who chose his top 10 favorite NASCAR drivers, which you see me super gluing into place here. This project definitely had a few hiccups, but I think it's just as important to show my challenges faced as it is to show my finished end result. I could not find the beginning video footage for this project, but all I did up until this point was cut down a piece of live edge cherry, pour a thin layer of epoxy with black dye, and added tiny black stones to give it the appearance of a roadway. I then mixed up some deep pour epoxy, which you see me mixing here. I put a bead of caulk along the live edge to help the epoxy from going over. It got a little stressful. I completely disregarded the bead that I made, and as you can see here, I just took the remaining epoxy and poured it completely all over the top. Luckily, it had no effect on the finished project. I then began the cleanup process, which includes passes on the joiner and passes through the planer. I also squared up all the sides of the piece and cut it down to its final measurements. The first hiccup I experienced during this project was when I was putting the piece through the planer. Some of the cars were higher on the stones than the others, which was causing the planer to remove tiny thin layers from the tops of the cars. As you can see here, the tops of number 4 and number 22 were slightly scraped off. At this point, I had to continue with the process and trust that I can come up with something down the line to fix the issue. I went through my sanding progression and used a router to round over the edges. The solution I came up with was to just repaint the top of the cars. Now, full transparency, this did not come out perfect, and if I were to do this project again, car placement is something I will definitely keep in the back of my head. If you do a project like this, just remember, leave plenty of room underneath the top of the live edge so you have enough to send it through the planer without issue. I could have gone through this whole video without showing this part, but like I said before, I'd rather show the hiccups I experience during projects than pretend like I get it right 100% of the time. In order to protect the new painted tops, I decided to do a top layer of tabletop epoxy. I've never used this before, and quite frankly, I did not know how it was going to turn out. I did about 3 layers of the tabletop epoxy and sanded each layer in between. Make sure if you do this, you have a clean working area and not a lot of debris floating around, because one little piece of hair could throw off the whole top coat. Ask me how I know. If you've made it this far into the video, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for watching. I'm still new to editing, and I'm still new to voiceovers, so you're gonna have to bear with me, but if you feel as though I've deserved it, I would really appreciate a like or subscription. I will also do my best to link everything I used in this video in the description below. In the last part of this project, I used 3M's cutting compound and a polisher. As we near the end of this video, I just want to say a few things about my dad. He's the hardest working guy I know, and for as long as I can remember, he has worked 6-day work weeks with taking little to no time off. Growing up, there were 2 things I knew about Sundays. I knew that my dad was off from work, and I knew that he would be watching NASCAR. Making this project for him, in a way, brought me back to my childhood. As he was picking out his top racers, he would tell me little stories about each one of them, things they've accomplished, races they've won, and what he likes about each and every one of them. Every day I worked on this project, it felt like I was a kid again, like I was sitting on the couch on a Sunday, and the only thing on the schedule was watching NASCAR with my dad.